What's up, everybody? How you doing? Today I'll be talking about the movie Glen or Glenda, and I think it's Glen and Glenda. Well, if I make a mistake, I apologize. I will. I saw this movie like last night actually, and so I didn't have a chance to review it. But I saw this in a documentary movie like called Top 50 Worst Movies, and this was one of the top 50. I think this was topped on 48, 49, or 47, one of those three, I think. So, but the movie's like right up my alley as being LGBTQ, and I used to be a cross dresser, but nothing wrong with cross dressing, by the way. If you guys, and I used to love cross dressing, but I stopped doing it because I just want to retire from living that lifestyle. But but this movie is based on LGBTQ, one of those early LGBTQ movies about a guy that he likes to cross dress. But I didn't know at that time this there was a mean to transvestite. I was told at that time transvestite means like a guy that likes to dress up. But I always get confused with that because isn't transvestite cross dressing? I guess maybe later on terminology would be cross dressing later on. I guess now many years later. But let's to move on. Yeah, it's about this guy that just loves to cross dress, and it just he does have a like a backstory, and the movie is an Edward movie, if I'm corrected. So it's not it's kind of confuse people because you have like commentary by Bella Lugosi, you know, and then you have a mix of like scenes in the movie, like when the guy gets, it's like he's having a nightmare about cross dressing. It's kind of crazy though. It was kind of cool setup to me. I don't consider this as a worst movie. I personally love this movie, maybe because I'm biased. Because like I said, I used to be a cross dresser, and I am part of the LGBTQ community also. So maybe I'm biased because of that. But I personally thought it was a good movie in my opinion. But Glenn, right? He does have a nice story. He's a guy. He has a fiance, excuse me, and he needs to tell her. He also has a friend who happens to be a transvestite also, and he stopped living the lifestyle once he told this woman about it. I mean, I think once he got caught. Excuse me, if I'm corrected. Yeah, I forgot. I saw this movie last night. I apologize, but I mean, either way, it was a nice movie. But the movie started ended up. But the main part of this movie before the Glen story was this police officer found this dead transvestite, and he went to see a psychologist about it. Say, why would a man dress up as a woman? And that's when the psychologist telling him stories about Glenn, one of his patients, and he tells him another story, Alex, who happens to be a transvestite also, but that actually went through the operation. So he also gets a transsexual story to this segment also, to this movie also. Let me say that. Well, I can say this is like a little anthology in a way, yeah, a little anthology about cross dressing or transvestite exchange, whatever. I mean, I'm trying to put it all together, but let's say LGBTQ in one. But it is a nice story because the outcome of Glenn's character was really cool, and everyone lives their own different lifestyle of cross dressing, of who they are, That wants to, if men wants to become women, um, how they want to live their life, or how they want to live it, or they don't want to live it no more, depending on how life change, depending on how life comes to them in a way, or what comes to them in a way. The only thing good about this Bela Lugosi, man, he make his character makes it sound like this is like a horror movie, which is kind of weird. That's to me that's the weird part about it. It's like this is never a horror, man. This should never be a horror. It's like be proud of who you are, or sometimes when you need to live a life that actually just live it and experiment or experience it yourself. Like on a personal level, I went through my journey as being a cross dresser and being bisexual. I went through a long journey before I made that decision at that time. I'm still like now, like I said, I don't do cross dressing no more. So as lifestyle, I decided not to live no more. So like these characters, I also went through my journey, and the reason why I don't want to live that lifestyle no more, on a personal level. So that's why I think Glenn, I really love this movie though. I really need to see it again. I mean, I'm gonna see it again because I did forgot a few parts, but I'm glad I saw it. I'm really glad. And let me just say, guess what? You can watch it for free on Tubi TV. So go on Tubi TV right now. Highly recommend you guys checking this out.